Nellie Bly, bring the broom along. We'll sweep the kitchen clean, my dear, and have a little song. Poke the wood, my lady love, make the fire burn. While I take the banjo down, just give the mush a turn. Hi, Nellie, ho, Nellie, listen, love to me. I'll sing for you, play for you a lonesome melody. Hi, Nellie, ho, Nellie, listen, love to me. I'll sing for you, play for you a lovely melody. Nellie Bly shuts her eye when she goes to sleep. When she wakens up again, her eyeballs begin to peep. The way she walks, she lifts her foot, and then she brings it down. And when it lights, there's music there in that there part of town. Hi, Nellie, ho, Nellie, listen, love to me. I'll sing for you, play for you a lovely melody. Hi, Nellie, ho, Nellie, listen, love to me. I'll sing for you, play for you a lovely melody. Ah, beautiful.
What you brewing, Banjo?
Nectar of the gods, my friend. Banjo Bonner's greatest scientific discovery. Cures all ailments of horse and man, besides being useful to polish silver, gold, or brass. Hey, let me have your bugle a minute. I'll show you something.
Sure. Polish her off.
I'll polish her off. Yeah. You idiots! You ruined it! I'll get court-martialed for this. Take it easy, my friend. I must have made the formula too strong. Attention! Howdy, Steve. I mean, Lieutenant Nolan.
At ease, men.
Say, I thought you were out chasing them guerrillas who've been wrecking our trains.
I was.
I was. Ain't you just chock full of information, though? Seems to me you ought to tell me a little bit more than that. After all, I've been fighting battle after battle, besides working like mad on my formula just to help you in the cavalry.
Colonel Rogers wishes you to report to him at once, sir, and bring Corporal Bonner with you.
Thank you.
Golly, do you reckon that the colonel knows about my invention?
Never can tell. Lieutenant Nolan reporting, sir, with Corporal Bonner.
Sit down. I've been going over the report on your activities in running down that guerrilla band, Lieutenant. It's excellent.
I was lucky, sir.
Well, maybe you're right. I understand you're both from the Indian Territory.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. When my folks first moved out the Indian Territory, I was just knee-high to a grasshopper. Mighty fine country out there, sir.
So I've heard. Are you familiar with Benton County?
Well, yes, sir. I believe that's a wild horse district. A number of ranchers settled there years ago, started a business of raising Mustangs, selling them to the Army for cavalry remounts.
That's right. And they've proven exceptionally tough and dependable. However, in the past few weeks, not one horse has been delivered to us. Arnold Drew, who has the remount contract for the Oklahoma Territory, seems unable to cope with a gang of outlaws who have been stealing these wild horses from him just as fast as he can get them rounded up. All that we've been able to find out is that the leader is known as El Vengador.
El Vengador. That's Spanish, meaning the Avenger. Sounds to me like there's a personal motive in this stealing.
Well, whether it's personal or otherwise, Lieutenant, it must be stopped. You and Corporal Bonner will leave for Benton at once. Bring in this El Vengador and his troublemakers, and see to it that the necessary horses are delivered to the Army.
We'll do the best we can, sir. With your permission, I'll go on ahead into the territory as a cowboy looking for work. Corporal Bonner can join me later.
Here's where my great scientific formula pays off.
How you operate, Lieutenant, is entirely up to you, but remember, the Army needs those remounts. Now, when you reach Benton, look up James Prescott. He's the land commissioner there. He has written to me regarding this difficulty, so that he should be able to give you complete information.
Yes, sir.
Good luck.
to your hands.
All right, stranger. Can't reach him.
What's the trouble, Sheriff? I don't know. It sounded like that shot come from the express office.
Glad you got here, Sheriff. I surprised a couple of men breaking into the express office safe. One got away, but I shot this one. Is he dead?
No, but he's very badly wounded. Get Doc Edwards.
He ain't here, Judge. He left last week to join the Army.
That's right, I'd forgotten that. Well, you better make arrangements to have him taken over to the doctor in Osage. Has a nasty head wound.
Go get Williams and tell him to bring his wagon up here.
If we can get him over to the doctor in time, you may tell us who his accomplice was.
Is that the letter you want, Prescott?
Yes. Did anyone identify that stranger you shot?
No, but Deputy Williams is taking him over to Osage to get him patched up.
He what? Say, if he comes to and does any talking, it's going to be plenty bad for us. I ain't sure whether he'd know Dugan and me again, but he certainly must have got a look at your face before you shot him.
He's not going to have a chance to do any talking, Higgins. If you and Dugan knock on it, you can reach Cherokee Pass ahead of that wagon.
We'll make it.
What's the idea?
I'm taking you to Osage to see a doc. And when he gets through with you, I'm locking you up.
Something wrong with this.
I'll say there's something wrong about it. Hold out your other hand.
Wait a minute. Just a minute.
Won't bother us anymore.
sure thought you were a goner.
Yeah, I did too.
Todd, get some water. Looks like you might have had a run-in with the law.
Ran into a little trouble in Benton. The deputy was taking me to Osage. Said I needed a doctor.
That hombre back down the road is dead, Miss Donna, and he was wearing a deputy sheriff's badge.
I guess you were telling the truth. Who are you?
Steve Nolan. Oh, I'm sorry, ma'am. I'll be all right in a little while.
Boone, put him on your horse. Blindfold, and we'll take him back to camp with us.
Aren't you being kind of foolish, Donna? We don't know anything about him.
He's hurt and he's in trouble, Todd. That's why most people come to us, isn't it?
I know, but don't forget there's a $1,000 reward on your head. As soon as word reaches Benton that he's escaped, there'll be a posse hot on our trail.
The sheriff's been looking for us for quite some time without any luck.
What about the 2 men that were after him? He was with a deputy, so they can't be officers of the law.
Well, we won't cross our bridges till we come to him.
Made up my mind to change my way and quit the crowd that was so gay, and I leave my home for a little while and travel west for many a mile. When I arrived in Mexico, I thought of her, but I could not go. So I wrote a letter to my dear, but not a word did I ever hear. So take your gold and your silver too, and pity the girl that won't prove true. I'll travel west where the bullets fly. I'll be a cowboy till the day I die.
You hurt all right, Todd?
Yeah,
Well, what's wrong? Don't I look all right?
like a fashion plate. Steve must feel plenty flattered at the way you're trying to impress him.
I don't know what's gotten into you lately, Todd.
I'm not blind, Donna. Ever since Steve Nolan got here, you've spent practically all your time taking care of him. I don't like it.
You won't have to worry about that much longer. Steve's fully recovered and he's leaving today.
I just hope he doesn't come back with the sheriff's posse.
He's hardly in a position to get very friendly with the law.
Hello, Todd. Hey, much obliged for this outfit you loaned me.
Never mind the thanks. Come on down to the corral and saddle yourself a horse.
We're riding a ways with you. I'll join you as soon as I change my clothes.
You figuring on leaving the territory?
Well, I have a little matter to settle with a gentleman in Benton. After that, who knows?
You think you can get away with going back into a town where you're wanted by the law?
Well, I can try. I'm smooth-shaven now, wearing different clothes. I don't think anybody will recognize me. Say, can you tell me what a girl like Donna is doing in this kind of a setup?
What would you do if a bunch of crooks drove you out of your home and took over everything you owned?
I'll try to get it back, I guess.
That's just what Donna Ross is doing. Her father pioneered this territory along with most of the other men you met here in camp. Yeah, and they were doing all right until the war came along. Then a bill was passed, condemning their ranches and declaring Rainbow Valley a national park.
Well, didn't the territory try to pay them for the land?
Yeah, sure. 25 cents an acre. Nothing for the equipment and horses. When Ross and the other ranchers refused to accept, Prescott, the land commissioner, took a sheriff's posse and drove them out at the point of a gun. Donna's father was killed in the fight.
Not a very pleasant picture, Todd. But continuing to buck the law won't help any. Why don't they protest to Washington?
Clem Masters, a judge over at Benton, has been trying to help. But so far, it's been the same old runaround.
Oh, thank you, Donna. You've been mighty kind.
Follow that trail. It'll lead you right out of the Badlands. Goodbye, Steve.
Goodbye.
And good luck.
So long, Todd.
So long.
Bad news for you, Miss Donna. I saw Judge Masters this morning.
I suppose he heard from Washington.
Well, the mail rider says he brought in a letter one day last week for the judge postmarked Washington, but the express office was held up the same night and the letter disappeared.
And the judge still doesn't know whether we've been granted a new hearing or not. After all these months.
I'll bet Arnold Drew isn't shedding any tears. The longer the hearing's postponed, the better he'll like it. He probably had a hand in the robbery. I'm going after him. This time it's a showdown.
We'll both pay the town of Benton a little visit, Todd.
Open range, herding the cattle dusty and weary out on the open range. I want to see the sunset over the mountain, leaving the moon so plain. I want to hit the saddle, herding lazy cattle out on the open range. Yodelay, yoli, yole, yodelay, yoli, yole, yodelay. I want to hear the wind blow over my campfire, brushing the smoke away. Rolled in my blanket there by the campfire, waiting the break of day. I want to see the dawn break there in the morning, making me feel so strange. I'll get my pals together, then we'll hit the leather out on the open range. Yodelay, yoli, yole, yodelay, yoli, yole, yodelay, yoli, yole, yoli, yole, yoli.
Very pretty, very pretty. Hurry, hurry, hurry. Step right up, my friends. I have here the greatest scientific discovery of the age. Banjo Bonner's famous nectar of the gods. There ain't any sickness, man nor beast still will not cure. Ah, my good man, you look like you need a few treatments.
There ain't nothing wrong with me that a little old Kentucky bourbon won't cure.
There you are, my good man. You have the basis for my magic formula. A little of that famous brew from Kentucky, plus some tea from 101 different herbs, equals Banjo Bonner's famous nectar of the gods. Yes, sir, one drink, and you'll never know you ever had any troubles.
Smells all right, Professor.
Of course it smells all right. I've been drinking it for years.
I'm dying, I'm burning up. Give me some water, please. Thanks, Mr. Prescott. Why, you little sawed-off runt. Try to poison me, will you?
Just a minute. There's something wrong with the formula. It said right
Never mind what's wrong with the formula. You gave me the stuff and just...
Wreck my saloon, will you? Well, it's gonna cost you.
How much, mister?
$50.
$50?
Yes, 50.
$50.
All right. Now, you get out of here and take that stuff with you. Go on, beat it out.
Just a minute, cousin. If I was to drop this stuff, you'd never forgive yourself. Take it easy.
Feeling better now?
Yeah, I'm all right.
Let me have your attention, men. I'm starting a wild horse roundup in the morning, and I'm paying top wages for riders. Anyone that's interested can talk to my foreman, Dugan. He'll sign you up.
How long do you think the drive will last, Mr. Drew?
Oh, about 2 weeks.
You think El Vengador and his gang will give us any trouble this time?
I told you to beat it.
Well, I thought I was kind of figuring on hiring out to Mr. Drew.
Well, I'll disfigure you if you don't get that box of dynamite out of here. No! Look out! No! Oh, look. Will you please take that stuff and get out of here? Please. Oh, no. Now get out of here.
You don't know what you're missing.
Go on, get out of here.
Yes, you don't know what you're missing. Hi, my friend. Just a minute. You're just the man I'm looking for. Could I interest you in a little bottle to take home to your wife? It'll surprise her. These one-horse towns. Howdy, stranger. Could I interest you in a bottle of my famous nectar?
Oh, you might.
Howdy, Lieutenant.
How long you been in town?
I just got here. Did you manage to find out anything?
Well, when I hit town the other night, I got mixed up in a little robbery. Since then, I've been hiding out in the camp of El Vengador. On the level.
On the level? I thought it was in the hills. You're a fast worker. Then you know who he is.
It ain't a he, Banjo. El Vengador's a girl, and a mighty good-looking one.
Well, I'll be doggone. A lady bandit. What'll they think of next? Did you arrest her?
No, not yet. I want to check up on Arnold Drew and James Prescott before I make a move.
Well, if there's anything else I can do for you, my friend, just look me up, send me a card. I cure everything.
I won't forget.
The one on the inside is Jay Prescott. The one on this side, Arnold Drew.
So that's Arnold Drew, huh? The man who has the Army contract for wild horses.
When I was in the saloon a few moments ago, they was hiring men for a roundup to take place tomorrow. Hey, you look like you've seen him before.
I have. He's one of the bandits that held up the express office the other night. Say, Benja, see if you can sign on the roundup. In the meantime, I'll have a little talk with Prescott and Drew.
But if you was in on one of their robberies, hadn't they ought to know you?
I'll soon find out. In the meantime, you do as I say and keep your mouth shut.
You bet, sir. You bet. Yes, sir. Well, roundup is coming.
Prescott?
That's correct. What can I do for you?
I'm Lieutenant Steve Nolan from the 7th Cavalry.
Glad you're here, Lieutenant. Meet Arnold Drew. He has the contract to supply the Army with remount horses. Drew?
Glad to know you, Lieutenant. We rather expected to see you in uniform.
Well, I have my orders. Until I get to the bottom of the trouble around here, my connection with the Army must be kept confidential. Colonel Rogers suggested that I have a talk with you, Mr. Prescott. Said he thought maybe you could help me.
Well, I'm glad to do anything I can for you, Lieutenant, but Mr. Drew's in a better position to explain what we're up against.
Well, there really isn't much to explain, except every time we get a picked bunch of horses rounded up, they're stampeded and stolen by El Vengador and his outlaws. My hunters have located a big herd out in the south end of Rainbow Valley. I'm starting another drive in the morning, but I can't guarantee the horses will be delivered.
The Army needs those remounts. And I was sent here to make sure they'll be delivered. So if it's all right with you gentlemen, I'll go along with you tomorrow.
Fine. We can use every man available. And especially those that know how to handle a gun.
Well, I've had some experience.
That's right. Keep on reaching. If you're thinking of collecting that reward money, you're out of luck.
Donna Ross.
So you're El Vengador.
Todd Wingate.
You have a letter addressed to Judge Masters. I want it.
I don't know what you're talking about. Why would I be interested in the judge's correspondence?
For the same reason that Arnold Drew is. Now give me that letter. Unlock that desk.
Open that box. Donna Ross is El Vengador. Go after her.
She's got too much of a start. We can never catch her now.
The next time you write to Washington, Judge, don't forget to mention that the ranchers you're so interested in are known to be outlaws and are stealing horses intended for the United States Army.
Young man, I'd like a few minutes talk with you, if you don't mind.
Go ahead.
Suppose we go over to the sheriff's office. We won't be disturbed over there.
Well, what's on your mind, Judge?
This. Now, where is that letter you helped steal the other night? The one from Washington, addressed to me.
Hey, what's this all about, anyway?
Now, don't alibi. Maybe no one else in this town recognized you, but I did. You took part in that express robbery last week, and Drew shot you.
You seem to be well informed.
You were wearing old clothes and had about 3 days' growth of whiskers on. But I know what you look like, though, for I was the one who bandaged your wound.
Somebody's gonna be bandaging you up, Judge, if you don't drop that gun. I never stuck a judge up before, but I guess there's always a first time.
You've gone away, Banjo.
Lieutenant Steve Nolan, U.S. Army.
That's right. Now, maybe we'd better have a little powwow. Well, that's about all I have to say, Judge, except that regardless of how much I believe in Donna Ross's innocence, the Army must have those horses.
And I agree with you, Lieutenant. Our personal problems are unimportant compared to the preservation of the Union.
You reckon the Ross girl and her friends will listen to reason if they're told what Steve's doing out here?
It's rather difficult to be patriotic, Banjo, when you're just one jump ahead of the law. That stolen letter might have been the solution to the entire problem.
I'm leaving in the morning on the Wild Horse Roundup, Judge. When you hear from Donna Ross or any of the other ranchers, give them this message from me. If they'll stay away from the valley until I get the necessary number of horses delivered to the cavalry, I'll personally take their troubles to Washington. I believe I'll be able to straighten things out for them.
Thank you, Lieutenant.
look good, don't they?
I sure do. Ain't they the cute little rascals?
Don't you think they're a little young for the cavalry?
Well, it's been 10 days now since we started the drive, and El Vengador or her gang hadn't showed up.
Maybe somebody showed them the error of the way.
I doubt it. And I'd feel a lot better if that girl was in jail.
Yes, I suppose you would, Drew.
Last night as I lay on the prairie and looked at the stars in the sky, I wondered if ever a cowboy would drift to that sweet by and by. Now the road to that bright, happy region is a dim, narrow trail, so they say, while the broad one that leads to perdition is posted and blazed all the way. I'm scared that I'll be a stray yearling, a maverick unbranded on high, and get caught in the bunch with the rusties when the boss of the riders goes by.
You boys better catch some sleep. I'll call you at midnight.
Hey, roll out!
Hey! Yeah, get out, Antonio. Get your horse. Saddle up, saddle up. Get your horse. Come on.
You're gonna listen to me, Todd, whether you want to or not.
Save your breath, you cheap double-crosser. I should have plugged you the other day in Prescott's office.
Well, I can understand how you feel, but you're all wrong. Didn't Judge Masters deliver a message to you from me?
Sure, but why should I believe any promises you might make? Donna took you in and cared for you when you were wounded. That didn't stop you from going back to Benton and siding in with Drew and Prescott.
I was sent here to get remounts for the cavalry. And those wild horses are gonna be delivered. If I have to bring in a company of troops and blast my way into your camp, you and Donna Ross aren't fighting the local law of the territory now, Todd. You're up against the United States Army.
But we've only taken what rightfully belongs to us.
Well, I'm beginning to realize that now, and I intend to see that the ranchers get a square deal. We're at war, Todd. Those horses are needed badly. It's not a question of who owns them or who gets paid for them.
Well, I never looked at it quite like that, Steve. If it's not too late, I'd like to help you.
Well, you can start in by explaining to Donna and the other rangers. Don't worry. I'll see that you get out of this.
Good work, Lieutenant.
Did you get any of the rest of them?
No, I didn't. Tie him up and put him on a horse.
You're right, Hank. He's not only a horse thief, he's a traitor to his country. And I'm betting he's a rebel sympathizer.
There's been too many of these hombres coming in here lately, disturbing our peace. If we don't do something about it, we're gonna lose our homes, our ranches, wagons, everything. Them vigilantes in California had the right idea.
You bet they did. They knew what to do with a horse thief. Just wasting the taxpayers' money.
I got a note for you, Steve. Some fella up the street gave it to me, told me to give it to you.
Okay, listen to this. Steve, come alone to Castle Rock, 1 mile west of the Forks. Important. Donna Ross.
The female bandit. Maybe it's a trap. Do you think you ought to go?
Well, now, Banjo, you know it isn't polite to keep a lady waiting. Besides, we've got to figure a way to get Todd out of jail.
That's right. That crowd over there is getting ready to take matters in their own hands.
Hello, Donna. Aren't you taking quite a chance meeting me this way?
I might arrest you.
Look over there.
Well, I guess I'm the one that's taking the chance. What did you want to see me about?
Todd Wingate. Steve, if I promise to ride into Benton with you and surrender to the sheriff, will you release him from jail?
You think a lot of him, don't you?
Yes, I do. Todd was my father's foreman. He had nothing to gain by joining the ranchers who were outlawed, but he helped them because he believed they were in the right.
I'll make you a proposition. If I agree to break Todd out of jail, will you let the Army have the horses you rustled from Arnold Drew?
I never refused to sell horses to the Army, but there was no way I could deliver them.
Well, there is now. Get your men together, wait it to pass the other side of town. I'll meet you there with Todd.
And I'm telling you, man, if we don't take the law into our own hands, they're going to turn them loose.
We all know Judge Masters has been trying to help them horse ranchers. He'd never find Todd Wingate guilty.
Certainly not.
Just a minute, fellas. Todd's entitled to a fair trial the same as anyone else is.
If you don't like what we're doing, go on home.
It's a good thing you got back, Steve. Maybe you can talk some sense to them locoed galoots over there.
Oh, it'd only be a waste of time to try.
His kind don't deserve no man.
Been too many of these outbreaks, Gotta get this armory out of here before sundown, gentlemen. I'm telling you now.
You got everything straight?
I sure have. Leave it to me.
Open up the door, Sheriff. We'll break it in.
Better do as we say. We want Todd Wingate.
We better go out and quiet that mob.
Give me a gun and I'll help you stand them off.
You've already caused enough trouble, Todd.
All together, men, and straight on into that cell.
Pull up that
Come on,
heat-back
let's
hatch
get
and
on.
use it for a battering ram.
Hey, come on.
Clear out of here, all of you. First man tracks passage will end up with a load of buckshot.
Don't let the judge bluff you, man. We want Wingate, Sheriff, and we're gonna get him.
He's my prisoner, and nobody's gonna take him out of here. Now get back. Till I count 10 to clear out. 1, 2, 3.
All right, put him in here. Sorry to do this to you, gentlemen. Make yourselves comfortable.
This is an outrage.
Ah, shut up. Here's our man. All right, get him out of there. Come on, we got a nice tree picked out for you, mister. You in here.
What you're looking for, Lieutenant? A lot of people seem interested in my mail. Now hand over those letters.
I guess there isn't much choice, Prescott. This explains how you knew the judge was expecting to hear from Washington.
You don't think your knowledge is going to do you any good, do you?
Why, the whole thing's a frame-up. Come on, get your horses, men.
You and Prescott are coming back and face a federal court.
You haven't got anything on us.
Well, just to refresh your memory, I happened to be the man you shot the night you robbed the express office. Maybe these letters will come in kind of handy at the trial.
Bye, Donna. I'll let you know how I like Army life.
I'll be waiting to hear from you, Todd. Will you be coming back after the war, Steve?
A team of horses couldn't keep me away.
Speaking of horses, the sooner you send us them remounts, the sooner the war will be over.
Goodbye, Donna.
Goodbye, boys, and good luck.
So long.
Through the